When your dog stares at you, do you really understand what it means? Most people smile and think it's love. Something simple, something sweet, just a dog looking at its owner. Nothing more. And yes, sometimes it feels that way. Those quiet moments, the eye contact, the sense that your dog is completely connected to you. But what if that's not the full story? Because behind that stare, there is something far more complex than most people ever realize. Something rooted in instinct, in survival, in emotional wiring that goes much deeper than affection. In fact, many dog owners completely misunderstand this behavior without even knowing it. And if your dog has ever stared at you in a way that felt intense, almost uncomfortable, there is a specific reason for that. A reason we'll uncover later, especially in number 7. And once you understand it, you will never look at your dog the same way again, because that stare was never just about love. It was always something more than you think, something deeper than emotion, and something your dog has been trying to show you all along. First, it was never just about love. The easiest explanation is this: your dog stares at you because they love you. And while that sounds comforting, it is also incomplete. Dogs do not rely on eye contact the way humans do. In the animal world, prolonged staring can actually be a signal of tension, alertness, or evaluation. So when your dog looks at you, really looks at you, they are not just expressing affection. They are observing, constantly taking in information without missing the smallest detail. Almost like they are studying you more than you realize. Not in a passive way, but with intent and attention. As if every detail matters more than you realize. Your movements, your expressions, your energy, every small change in your face, your posture, even your breathing. Because to your dog, you are not just someone they love, you are the center of their environment. And understanding you is not optional, it is survival. Because understanding you helps them predict the world around them, and prediction is what keeps them safe. Studies in canine behavior show that dogs constantly read human cues to predict what will happen next. Food, walks, tone of voice, mood shifts. So that stare, it is focus, it is awareness, and sometimes it is your dog trying to figure you out in real time, moment by moment, without missing anything. Third, they have assigned themselves a role around you. So if your dog is not just watching you and not just sensing your internal state, then the next question is, why does it matter so much to them? The answer goes back to instinct. Dogs come from pack animals, and in a pack, every member has a role. Some watch, some guard, some stay close to the center. Nothing is random. Every position, every action, every moment of attention serves a purpose. Even when it looks simple, there is always something driving it underneath. And even though your dog lives in a house now, that wiring has not disappeared. When your dog stares at you, they are not just being curious. Part of them is checking their responsibility. Where are you? What are you doing? Is everything normal? Because in their mind, you are not just their owner, you are part of their group. And groups need awareness to stay safe. That stare is not empty, it is a form of monitoring. A quiet, constant check-in that says, I am here, I see you, I know what's going on. And whether you notice it or not, they are doing it all the time. Fourth, not all stares mean the same thing. And if you've been thinking that every time your dog looks at you, it carries the same meaning, this is where things start to change. Because just like humans, dogs do not use eye contact in only one way: the soft stare. This is the one most people recognize. Relaxed eyes, slow blinking, a calm body. This is connection. Your dog is present with you, comfortable, and emotionally open. But then there is the alert stare. Eyes slightly wider, body still, focus sharper. This is not affection, this is assessment. Your dog is trying to understand what is about to happen. And then there is the intense stare, the one that feels almost uncomfortable. No blinking, no movement, just stillness and focus. This is where most owners get it wrong. They assume every look means affection. But in reality, some looks are questions and some are warnings. Because this is not love. Each type of stare carries a different message, and the difference is often subtle but extremely important. This is your dog trying to read something important, a shift in your energy, a change in your behavior, something that does not match their expectation. And finally, the seeking stare, the quick glances, looking at you, then away, then back again. This is communication, a question without words. Food, walk, attention. Once you start noticing these patterns, you realize something powerful. Your dog is not just looking at you, they are speaking to you in a language most people never learn to see. Fifth, your dog has slowly adjusted its world around you. And if your dog is constantly watching you, sensing you, and even communicating through those looks, there is something else happening over time. They begin to adapt to you, slowly at first, almost unnoticeable, then more consistently, until it becomes their normal. What once felt unfamiliar slowly becomes routine, and over time, that routine becomes their sense of stability. Dogs are not naturally wired to live on a human schedule. Their instincts are built around different rhythms. But when a dog bonds with you, something shifts. They start waking when you wake, resting when you rest, moving when you move. Your routine becomes their structure. Your habits shape their expectations. Your presence defines their sense of timing, and that stare you see throughout the day, it is part of that adjustment. They are checking your timing, trying to stay in sync with whatever you do next, making sure they are always aligned with your rhythm, anticipating your next action. Because in their world, you are the reference point for everything, not just emotionally, but behaviorally. Sixth, they often understand your state before you do. And if your dog has been adjusting to your rhythm, watching your patterns, and syncing their life around yours, then something else begins to happen over time. They start to know you deeply, not just your habits, but your state. Have you ever had a bad day, said nothing to anyone, and your dog still came and sat near you, staring quietly? That is not random. Dogs pick up on signals you are not even aware you are sending. Your posture shifts, your breathing changes, your energy feels different. And because your dog has spent so much time watching you, they recognize when something is off. That stare in those moments, it is not curiosity, it is concern. They are trying to understand what changed, trying to stay close, trying to respond in the only way they know how. And the strange part is, they are often right. They notice the shift before you even admit it to yourself. Seventh, when the staring changes, you need to pay attention. And after everything we have talked about, observation, biology, instinct, and connection, this is the part most people overlook. Because a dog that regularly watches you, reads you, and stays connected to you does not suddenly change that behavior without a reason. If your dog used to look at you often, hold eye contact, stay engaged, and then suddenly stops, that is not nothing. That change always carries meaning, and ignoring it can make you miss something important. The first possibility is physical. Dogs instinctively withdraw when something is wrong. Pain, discomfort, illness, these are not always obvious. Instead of showing weakness, they create distance. It is a quiet response, not an obvious one, but it is often the clearest signal they can give, and the absence of that stare can be the signal. The second possibility is emotional or environmental, a change in routine, a new person, a shift in energy inside the home. Things that seem small to you can feel significant to them. Even subtle shifts can change how safe they feel. And sometimes that connection weakens, not because the bond is gone, but because something disrupted it. So when your dog stares at you, it is not something to ignore. But more importantly, when they stop, that is when you really need to notice, because something has changed in their world. And they are responding the only way they know how. Because that look was never random. It was awareness, it was connection, it was communication. And in their own way, it was always them saying, I see you, I understand you, I'm here with you. And that has never been just love. It has always been something deeper, something built on trust, awareness, and connection. A bond that grows stronger through understanding and deepens every time you truly pay attention. And if this video changed the way you see your dog, then you are starting to notice what most people miss. Because the truth is, dogs have been communicating with us all along. We just were not paying attention. So the next time your dog looks at you, do not brush it off as something simple. Pause, look back, and really ask yourself what they might be trying to say. And if you want to understand more of these hidden signals, the ones backed by real behavior and real science, make sure you subscribe. Because once you start seeing it, you cannot unsee it. It changes the way you respond to them and the way they respond back to you. You start noticing the small things you used to ignore, and those small things change everything.